Hello, everybody, and welcome to a deadly serious review. And this deadly serious review is of Warriors Orochi 2. Now, why Warriors Orochi 2? Why not 1 or 3 or any of the other series like Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors? And the answer is very simple, really. The answer is, well, they're all identical anyway, so just pick one at random and there you go. Run with that. So, see? Anyway, so what is Warriors Orochi 2? Well, it's a combination of Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors. More like button mashing warriors and button mashing warriors. See how I call them the same game? That's because they are the same game. See what I did there? Ha ha ha. They may as well all be called the same thing because they're all identical anyway. So, this isn't going to take very long because these games are super simple and you only ever do one thing ever. And what is that one thing? You mash X. You go around fighting a bunch of dudes and you do it by hitting X over and over and over again. They all die and that's it. So there you go. There's everything that you'll ever need to know about this game. Now, some people like these games and they are clearly wrong because all you ever do is mash one button, but I am going to go through some of the arguments that people have made and debunk them one by one. One thing that people say is that, well, just because it's simple doesn't mean it isn't good. Not every game has to be like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, and to that I say, wrong. Every game has to be like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. If it's not like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, it's not even a game. Like, what counts as a game in your eyes if it doesn't involve complex combos on the controller? I can't fathom such a thing. Crazy people thinking that every game doesn't have to be Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. Another argument that I hear is that it's relaxing. Well, no, it's not relaxing pressing one button over and over again. It's just repetitive and boring. So take that, button mashing fans. Crazy. So, yeah, those are the quick and blatantly, obviously incorrect arguments out of the way. Now let's get to some more specific arguments that people like to make. One thing that people like to say is that, well, the characters each have their own separate level and their own stats, and that there's a lot of different characters to choose from. But to them I say, what are all their abilities? What do they entail? That's right, mashing X. So it doesn't matter that there's so many characters. You're just going to mash X all the time anyway. And some people say, well, they level up individually. Yeah, they do, but if they all are just about mashing X, then leveling them up is just going to be about mashing X in different ways. Mashing X against enemies with more health, therefore the same thing. So it doesn't matter who or what you level up, it's always just mashing X. That's all the game ever is. Now, another argument that people like to make is that, well, sometimes during the battles, you'll come against enemy officers who are too strong for you and you have to use your special attack or your Muso attack. Well, fine, you got me. There's a point in the game where you press a different button. Whoa, big deal, one different button. And only when your Muso bar is full, so it's not like you're going to be pressing it often anyway. And some people say, yeah, well, when you're on low health, you've got to be more careful because things can kill you more easily, but your Muso bar is also recharging faster whilst you're on low health, so you've got to balance between going between each of the characters and going up to other things such as health, if you can find it, or crates that might contain health or something like that. And again, to that I say, so what? It's one other button that you're pressing at one other time. You're pressing X over and over and over again. That's what the game is. So, yeah. It's crazy what these Warriors fans will say to try to cling on to their franchise. Right, what other arguments are there? There's also the argument that different characters have different weapons that you collect individually and each have their own separate abilities and extra stats on. And to that I say, yeah, but what abilities are those? What, like strength plus 7? That doesn't change the fact that you're mashing X over and over again. So it doesn't matter. And on Warriors Orochi 2, they each have skills on, like reach plus 5 and flame attack, which sets them on fire for a bit. But mashing X is all you're doing all that time. And sure, you do have the different items you collect that boost your stats and give you extra bonuses in different ways, but that doesn't change the fact that you're only mashing X the whole time. And people love to point out to me, oh, well in Warriors Orochi 2 you collect treasures, and with those treasures you can unlock special abilities that you can unlock by dismantling your weapons that you made through customizing, which was formed through using your growth points at the end that you accumulated at the end of the battle, which you could have spent to increase the experience of your characters, but can also use to transfer skills across from one weapon to another. And with those weapons you can then use the treasures to then dismantle them into different extra abilities that can be then attached to different weapons with effects such as will always have an elemental attack if your Musobai is full, and all this and that, and each one can hold up to 3 of these special skills, and this will help with the different difficulties such as chaos mode in other modes such as chaos mode, which is really hard, and such as dream mode, where you don't get to choose the characters, instead you just have characters set for particular levels, meaning you have to think about how you have to strategize with distributing levels amongst characters and the order of which you have to go for weapons and who has the priority and which particular abilities have priority and all that lot, and which characters you're going to use to increase their proficiency and how you're going to use that proficiency to also, alongside that, gather the different abilities that you can equip depending on the characters that you've used in the past, and will determine how effective they are based on whether the characters are of a speed category, technical category, or power category. Yeah, there's all that, but all you're doing is mashing X. That's the entire game. So anyone who tries to debunk me and say that there's more to it than just mashing X, you're wrong. Because at the end of the day, this game and every game in the series is all about mashing X. It's never had anything else to it, and it never will. So all you Warriors fans out there, yeah, keep playing your mindless button masher with no other qualities to it or no other gameplay mechanics. I'll play real games like Bayonetta and Devil May Cry because they are true games, unlike you, Dynasty Warriors. If I wanted to just mash a button, I'd just grab a controller and just mash a button without turning a game on. Because if that's how you gain entertainment, then I must feel sorry for you for not appreciating true games like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. Anyway, for everyone else who knows the truth, I'll see you all next time.